Minnesota Republican Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann and the independent senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders. Thanks to both of you for coming in. So what would you do about this issue of income inequality? It's a poignant story we just heard, and the president's going to be focusing in on this in his State of the Union address.
Well, I thought the segment that just ran was excellent. I agreed with Ann. I agreed with what she was saying, because what she's saying is that I've been on dependency entitlement programs for years. They haven't changed my life. What I want is a job. And that's what we need. It isn't income inequality. It's income opportunity. We need growth. We need prosperity, because a job is what she wants. That's the dignity that she needs and the opportunity for a way out.
She wants some education, too, to help her get a job. You don't have a problem with that.
Do I have a problem with that? No. I think it's absurd that we have probably the most dysfunctional early childhood education system in the entire world, that the cost of college is soaring. And I believe that we should learn from many other countries that understand that education is an investment, and that every kid in this country, regardless of income, should have an educational opportunity.
What do you want to hear the president say tomorrow night?
Well, what I want to hear him say is quite similar to what the Pope has said, is that at a time when we have the top 1% in this country owning 38% of the financial wealth, and the bottom 60% owning 2.3% of the wealth, that is obscene, that is unacceptable, and that is not what America is about. In terms of income, in the last few years, 95% of all new income generated, Wolf, went to the top 1%. So we need an economy that works for all of the people and not just millionaires and billionaires.
Congresswoman?
Well, we need to grow the middle class, and what the middle class needs are jobs. And that's really the problem that the president has to explain. It's tough to blame President Bush for the current economic woes. We have 5 years of Obama policies. And what do we have? We have people who are really suffering because people made more money. If you look at the median income level, people actually made more money 7 years ago than they're making now. People have every right to be upset. So what we need to do is reject these policies of growing entitlements and dependency, and instead embrace policies that will grow jobs for people, because that's the question.
Because you want less
Obama,
government.
Where's the jobs?
You want less government, but Senator, you want more government?
The Congresswoman kind of forgets to mention is that when Obama became president, we were losing over 700,000 jobs a month because of the greed and the recklessness and illegal behavior on Wall Street. Is the economy good today? No, it is not. Is it a heck of a lot better than when Obama first came in? Sure it is. The real issue that we need right now is, in fact, how do you create jobs? How do you protect working families? Cutting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, abolishing the minimum wage, which some of my more conservative friends want to do, is not going to help Ann, and it's not going to help millions of workers. We need a real jobs program. We need to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, put millions of people back to work, make states like Minnesota and Vermont more energy efficient so people are not
Where are
wasting.
you going to get the money?
You're going to get the money by asking the wealthiest people in this country.
More taxes?
Pardon me?
More taxes on the wealthy?
Yes, my goodness. Given the fact that 1 out of 4 corporations in America doesn't pay a nickel in federal taxes, given the fact that the wealthy are doing phenomenally well, their tax rates are much lower than they were in the days of that old socialist Dwight D. Eisenhower. Yeah, I do think the wealthy and large corporations.
Let's talk a little bit about tax rates. I'm a former federal tax litigation attorney. If there's anything that's been proven over time, Wolf, it's this. When you lower the tax burden, that's a cost of doing business, you'll create more jobs. That's exactly what the piece that preceded our segment said. This woman, Ann, wants a job. And so we have people all across the United States who have an ability to start companies. Single mothers like Ann want to start a business. We're not talking about mega businesses. We're talking about people who just want to get in.
So basically what she's saying, Senator, if you raise taxes on those big corporations, there won't be enough jobs. They're going to cut back on hiring.
Yeah, but it's not only that. But no, let me say something. It's not only that. It's also the fact that government is spending too much. The share that government has been spending, the question is, will people like Ann have money in her pocket to spend, or will it be government's big pocket that will be gulping our money? That's a big problem.
Look, the fact of the matter is that those countries around the world which have virtually eliminated childhood poverty are those countries that have invested heavily in education,
Now, where is that?
Excuse me.
Which country has
Norway.
eliminated childhood poverty?
Norway has. Denmark virtually eliminated. We are at 22%. They're less than 5%. Those countries guarantee health care to all people as a right of citizens. And you know what? Let me finish, please. And you know what? They spend about 50% per capita on health care that we do. So those countries that have strong... That's not socialism.
But a socialized nation like Norway, let me add, the reason why Norway has so much wealth is because they tap into their natural resource called energy. We could be energy independent in this country, create millions of high-paying jobs if we'd only open up and legalize American energy production.
We're often running here, but one second. But it doesn't matter. If you had all the oil at the time.
It totally matters. We've got huge natural resources. In fact, we're the #1 country in the world in energy resources, and we say no to it.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is we've had an energy
boom. People like Ann could have good, high-paying jobs. Go ahead, Senator.
The fact of the matter is we've had an energy boom in recent years. But 95% of all new income, 95% of all new income went to the top 1%. Now, what I think Ann was talking about, I think what Ann was talking about is the desire for education. My impression is she doesn't have a whole lot of money.
She wants a job. Ann wants a job.
I heard her say
she wants a job and she wants to be able to support her family.
I think she said she also needs education in order to get the job. And if you don't have any money, it's hard to get education.
But
so what we're seeing... In America, we have the highest
education. We've got a great educational system.
Wait a minute. In America, in America, you have a college education system where costs are soaring, where kids leaving school $25,000, $50,000 in debt, and hundreds of thousands of young people have given up on college.
What's been American policy when it comes to higher education? It's been let's put more federal government money.
No, actually, it's not been the case.
Correlation. The federal government has actually increased the cost of education. So now there's $1 trillion in debt outstanding from American kids.
I think you've got it a little bit backwards. And I think the idea that solving the very serious problem of the declining middle class and the growing gap between the wealthy and everybody else is to do what some of Ms. Bachmann's colleagues, perhaps yourself, you want to cut Social Security. You want to transform...
That's absolutely a lie. This is the old canard
you do not want to
trotted out all the time.
Wait a second.
It's a lie. I mean, let's face it, Senator Sanders. You shouldn't be lying about what our position is. Ask me. Do I want to cut Social Security? No, I'm not cutting Social Security. That is not what I'm doing.
Do you support a change CPI?
I will tell you.
Do you support a change CPI?
What is going to turn the economy around?
You're not answering the question. Do you support a change CPI?
It is a joke for the Democrat Party to lie about what our position is.
I asked you a question, you didn't give me an answer.
Well, calm down.
Do you support a change CPI?
Calm down. The reality is we want Ann's life to be better because President Obama has created an economic war on women so that women are saying, I can't even buy propane to heat my house. And now my health insurance premiums have quadrupled because of Obamacare. That's an economic war on women. We want women's lives to be better.
But on the social security issue, even the President of the United States has indicated, correct me if I'm wrong, he's willing to take a position you strongly disagree with.
I sure do. And I believe that virtually every Republican in the United States Congress believes in cutting Social Security.
That's
I believe that
a lie.
The Ryan budget called for the transformation of Medicare into a voucher program, massive cuts in Medicaid, and many Republicans.
Can
I finish your point?
I'm just telling you. But when you say something that isn't true, I have to correct it. It's not true.
Do you believe in raising the minimum wage?
What I'm saying is I believe in economic opportunity. Let me tell you what happened in Australia. The minimum wage in Australia is $20 an hour. They're losing the Ford plant. They're losing the GM plant. They're losing manufacturing.
She doesn't want to talk about that.
No, I want job growth. I want opportunity. And I want people's wages to go up.
Yeah, I know. We all do.
And it won't under President Obama's policy.
Most Republicans, by the way.
Because under President Obama's policy, people's wages have gone down 8% in 7 years. Not just stayed the same, they've gone down 8% for medium.
Go ahead, respond.
Most Republicans, and Ms. Bachmann can tell us her view, believe in abolishing the concept of the minimum wage so that employers in America can pay workers $3 or $4 an hour.
You know,
I'm not sure.
all of this is.
I don't know if it's most. I know there are plenty of Republicans.
In the Senate, by the way.
All we've heard are these broad brush generalized statements.
All right, I will tell you that most Republicans.
Is how one job is going to be created for Ann. Ann wants a job. Those poor kids sitting in the kitchen. That woman needs to be able to buy a home, own a car, move up, help her kids.
We had the trickle-down economic.
That's what I want to see happen. Not this economic war on women that the president has been putting forward for the last 5 years. It's embarrassing.
Right,
it's a shame.
Go ahead, Senator.
Many of Ms. Bachmann's ideas have already taken place. That was George Bush's tenure, which was the worst economic performance in the private sector in the modern history. We lowered taxes. Excuse me.
One at a time.
We lowered taxes for the rich. And you know what? Under Bush, we lost a whole lot of jobs. Now, the truth of the matter is, excuse me,
to be able to create
1 out of 4 corporations in America today pays nothing in taxes. We're losing about $100 billion.
Hold on one second. I just want to clarify. Do you believe that the minimum wage should be increased?
What I think is that we need to create jobs, and I think we need to look at the example of Australia. You want to talk about raising the minimum wage?
Well, that's going to be a major issue in the president's speech tomorrow night. He's going to call on Congress to raise the minimum wage.
So do you think that it should be raised to $20 an hour?
I'm just asking if you want
$10 in Australia.
I'm just asking if you believe that there should be an increase in the minimum wage.
No, I don't.
All right.
But what I do believe, but do you believe that taxes should be cut for the average job creator and the average American? I think they should. And I also think the federal government should restrain its spending. That's where you need austerity.
We have, once again, 1 out of 4 corporations not paying a nickel in federal taxes.
So they should be paying.
They should be creating jobs. But what they are doing is they're putting their money in the Cayman Islands. And they are shutting down factories in the United States and investing in China, in Mexico, in Vietnam. So I think what we need is a demand that corporate. Excuse me, may I have just 1 second? 1 second. Just 1 second.
Go ahead.
I think what we need to do is tell corporate America, time is now to invest not in China, not in Mexico, but in the United States of America.
That's why you redesign our tax policy and our tax reform so that jobs can be started here. We have the highest corporate tax rate in the world.
No, we do not. Not in terms of an effective.
Highest corporate tax rate in the world. You want to know why people are leaving the United States, investing elsewhere? Because President Obama has the highest corporate tax rate in the world. And that's hurting Ann. That's hurting Ann, and that's causing her to not be able to get a job. This was an excellent
discussion. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to continue the conversation in the days and weeks to come because you both bring good arguments to the table, Senator. Thanks very much for coming in.
My pleasure.
Congresswoman, thanks to you as well. At least we know you don't want to raise the minimum wage. Cost of living increases on Social Security.
And Bernie doesn't want to cut the taxes on corporations so that we can have new jobs created. So
he wants to increase the taxes on those big corporations so that they can pay for education and other infrastructure development.
We're going to have fewer jobs.
So there's a good debate.
That's Australia's
and you both reflect those good positions, and we'll continue the conversation.
Thank you.
Thanks.